Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you all and welcome to today, a terrific Thursday morning greeting to all of you. Thank you for waking up to keep us company on Mornin Barbados. Here's hoping you have a lovely today. It is the 19th of June 2025. I am Pearson Bowen. So to all of you, I say good morning. Thank you for waking up. And for those of you on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb, a very special good morning to you. You made a different kind of effort. And thank you so much for logging in. Remember, share the show, share the love, tell someone else about us, and encourage them to come along every single weekday morning, Monday to Friday from 6, to join in the fun. If you know of something or someone whose story you think we need to tell, then you tell us about it. Send us an email. Our email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And to all of you, we say thank you. Thank you so much for being partners in what we do every single day. You are fantastic, and I wish you all a terrific Thursday. Now, I want to share with you an opportunity provided by the MSC Cruises, the Ministry of Labour, Social Security, and the Third Sector, and the BTMI. Why? They're having a job recruitment fair coming up. Now, coming up ahead of that fair on Monday, as a matter of fact, in the Liberal Arts Auditorium of the Barbados Community College, they're hosting a workshop. That workshop will start at 9:30 in the morning till about 11:30 for a couple hours. You'll get to see and hear more about what's available on the ship and the cruises available to you. And so for those of you who are looking for jobs in cruising, working on cruise ships, this is for you. So the workshop provides you that hands-on opportunity to learn what the ship, working on a ship is all about. So that's from 9:30 to 11:30. Then in the afternoon from 1 until 3, they're having some mock interviews, basically mock interviews to get you ready for the recruitment fair, which happens the following day. So if you're interested in being a waiter, a buffet attendant, cook, entertainer, youth, staff, and technician, this job fair is for you. On the following day, the 24th and 25th, at Pelican House, that's the former BIDC building, they want you to come from 9 in the morning till 5 each day, because that's where the real job fair starts. So interviews galore. So good luck to all of you. I encourage you to come and be a part of it all. So I won't go any further until I riddle your mind and riddle it out to frazzle it out, as we young people would say. As the young people would say, frazzle you out now. Call me on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Here comes today's question. It is, I am not a living thing, but I can cry. I am often invisible, but you can see me. I usually only appear when it's hot. What am I? Let's break it down again. I am not a living thing, but I can cry. I am often invisible, but you can see me. I usually only appear when it is hot. Your question is, what am I? 228-5562 or 228-5563. So take up the challenge and give me a call by taking up your phone to dial 228-5562 or 228-5563 and guess your life away. It's okay. Perhaps it's the very thing you're thinking that is the correct answer. And we begin to rationalize and we doubt ourselves and then we come up with the wrong answer. Sometimes the very first thing that crosses your mind is absolutely right. So prove yourself right by calling me on 228-5562 or 228-5563. And while I wait on your call, let me tell you what you can expect today on Morning Barbados. Boy, do we have winners. Do we have winners? As you know, this has truly been a beautiful time for us at George Secondary School. They've been doing phenomenal work there, and we've been telling you about it. And so this morning we'll get to meet the winners of the recently held Spirit of the Lion show. They are here to tell the tale of their journey, and we're here to celebrate with them as well. The principal has come by as well as one of the mentors who's been working with the children, so I can't wait to hear what happened last week Saturday. But of course, you know, they're doing so much more at the school as well, and so we get to hear today being the last day of the open day, just what we can engage with still. We have a call. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, person. How are you?
I am doing well. How do you do?
I'm pretty good to this morning, thank you.
You're only pretty good?
Yes.
What else do
I'm
you
pretty
need to...
and I'm good.
You're pretty... Oh, I like that. That is what you say. Would others say the same thing about you? That you're pretty?
Of course.
You sure?
Yes,
All
I'm
right.
sure.
Fair enough. Who's calling and where are you watching from?
This is Kim. I'm calling from St. Peter.
Kim of St. Peter. All right, Kim. You're from the north, just as I am. Kim,
I know, right?
Don't make me shame. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
What's
So
your
this
answer,
is
Kim?
My answer, a cloud.
Kim,
Yes,
sticking with that.
I'm sticking with that
Explain
person.
your working, Kim.
Oh, gosh. So
Yeah.
you said
I am not a living thing, but I can
cloud?
cry.
the rain.
So the clouds cry when it rains. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am often invisible.
We have a cloudless sky.
Come on, Kim. If it's a cloudless sky, all right, the clouds are invisible, all right. But you can see me, fair enough. I usually only appear when it's hot.
Dark clouds.
I usually only appear when it's hot. On
Yeah, you get... Mm-hmm.
On a very hot day, do you often see a lot of clouds in the sky?
You do when it gets really hot, the heat, and you see the dark clouds.
Oh,
Yes, I'm sticking with my answer. Go ahead.
you better let it go.
No,
Kim, let it go, let it go, let it go. You're wrong.
but I did try.
You
Oh,
did
gosh.
try. I applaud you on trying. Thank you so much, okay?
Okay, you have
All
a
right.
good day, Pearson.
Likewise to you,
Bye-bye.
Kim. Thank you very much. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Keep calling me. Keep calling me. Come. Keep calling me. Now, the recipients of the Calabash and Sandbox Awards will join us. They're just recently recipients from the National Youth Awards. I can't wait to hear their story. Now, you may have heard of this young man who has started his own skate shop. And so he drives to you and he introduces you to skating and and all of the things that he has on sale. He'll meet with us this morning. Good morning. Hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. So he'll meet with us this morning to tell us his tale. His name is Jonathan Austin. When one is caught between a rock and a hard place, what does one do? Well, we'll delve beneath that and take a look at drug addiction in our society, just what it looks like. And sometimes we need that shock so that we get an understanding as what it is that we're engaging with. And so the National Council on Substance Abuse will join us to talk about it, and the filmmaker as well, as we are about to share with you soon, this morning, that documentary, A Rock and a Hard Place. And in New Jersey, she rocks style. She's a Beijans afar, but who is she? And what is she about? She's also seeking your support in a competition. So we'll introduce you to this Beijans afar, who is a fashionista, and a whole lot more. So I'm waiting on your call. I am not a living thing, but I can cry. I am often invisible, but you can see me. I usually only appear when it is hot. What am I? 228-5562 or 228-5563. None of you knows? This is shocking. Eva, Beverly, and Monica, who are gunning for me, none of you knows? Wow. 228-5562 or 228-5563. If you're saying you're a head person, this one really hard, I know, and I'm glad. Gotcha good, right? Gotcha good. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me and let me know the answer. What do you see it to be? I am not a living thing, but I can cry. I am often invisible, but you can see me. And I usually only appear when it's hot. What am I? It's not the cloud. It is not the cloud. It is something happens to you almost every day. There's something that happens to you almost every day. Seriously, Serious. So 228-5562 or 228-5563. Remember, share the show, share the love, tell others about us, let them come along and join as well. To all of you on our social media, very good morning to you. Why, how come I haven't heard from you this morning, Pat Ben? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you, Rhonda Hines-Graham? Come on, y'all didn't talk back to me this morning. What happened? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me and let me know. And if you don't call me and let me know, I will hold this question until you get it right. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And what's your name and where are you watching from?
Renee from Christchurch.
Renee?
Yes, please.
Of Christchurch. Okay, Renee of Christchurch. What is your answer?
I'm thinking it's sweat.
You're thinking it's what?
Sweat. Like sweat. S-W-E-A-T. Sweat.
Explain that to me, Renee. Marking, come on, show me the working.
You said, repeat what you said again.
I am not a living thing, but I can cry.
I think when your sweat runs down your eye, your face, you look like you're crying.
You look like you're crying, all right? I am often invisible, but you can see me.
I'm still sticking with sweat. I sweat.
I usually only appear when it's hot.
Yes, you sweat when it's hot.
And you're adamant.
I am not. Yes.
You're not adamant yet?
I said yes, I'm adamant. Yes,
You're adamant. And
yes.
did you sit down and ponder upon this for a little while to come up with the answer, sweat?
No.
Where did you go?
For the time you said it, that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Is it?
So I just said sweat.
You serious?
Yeah.
Are you good at riddles?
No, I'm not.
So how come you stumbled upon this as your first answer?
I don't know. I just came to mind.
It just came to mind. You are a genius.
I'm right.
Yes, Renee. You're absolutely right. Renee feels good today, look. Renee, spot on. Well done to you. It is sweat. Well done, Renee. Do you want another one? You think you're so smart that you can tell me the first thing that comes to your mind?
No, please.
You're frightened?
No, please.
Don't embarrass you on TV, right? All right, Renee, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good day. You're welcome indeed. All right. We'll take a break right here. When we come back, I'm introducing you to the winners of the Spirit of the Lion show. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in.
This segment of Exceptional Youth is brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund. Financing education the easy way.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are down to the 19th of June and every day until now, St. George Secondary School has been in the news for great things. I mean, everything that's going right with the school, everything that's going right with the students at the school, everything that's going right with the faculty at the school. They have been in the news, and it is a pleasure to have them again with us this morning as we showcase exceptional young people, two of who were a part of a team of 18 who competed in the recently concluded Spirit of the Lion show. And I think we have a winner, a video that shows you just how that finished. If we have that, if we can play that, my production crew, can you play it quickly so that I'll get to talk to the others in just a moment. So here, take a look and see how that show unfolded.
The inaugural Spirit of the Lion show was a night of color, fun, and demonstrated dedication to community. Competing on stage at the St. George Secondary School were 18 young men and women who were split into 9 pairs representing St. George communities. They showcased their formal wear, public speaking ability, and even their dedication to the communities they were representing. In the weeks before, the contestants had also engaged in a series of community work projects, including assisting some of the schools in the parish, such as Workman's Primary and the St. George Secondary. While they all performed commendably, at the end of the show on the big night, there could only be one winner.
The winner, ladies and gentlemen, with 1,437.5 points, representing the community of Ruins.
Deshaun Williams and Shekinah Taylor, representing the Salters community, took the first runner-up position, while second runner-up was the duo of Darius Davis and Summer White of the Allerton community. The Community Independence Celebration Secretariat believes that shows like these help to highlight the younger generation in a positive way. The show also featured performances from Peter Ram, Gorg and Tion Hernandez, who sang some of their hits as well as some of their new songs for this year's crop over season. Akeem Plinkett, CBC News.
Thank you, Akeem. Akeem was there. Were you there? I'm sure you were as well. And so today we're happy to introduce you to Daquan Ward and Gabriella Cummins. They are the winners of the Spirit of the Lion Show, the inaugural, for the very first time, though, they are in history. Your names are etched in history as the first winners of the Spirit of the Lion Show. Both of you, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. And they brought along their principal, we know him so well now, Dennis Brown, and with him is their mentor, Makita Boyce. Good morning, both of you as well.
Good morning.
This has been a phenomenal show. Now that you've had a chance to breathe, Daquan, talk to me a little bit about the show.
The show has been full with obstacles, but for me, I had to keep my head high and push through.
And so you learned that about you, that you can push through once you keep your head high and focused, right?
Yes, please.
In terms of the getting ready for Saturday night, because you were home all day Saturday morning and you were thinking, all right, just a regular Saturday day, but that was not what was on your mind alone. You were thinking, oh boy, I got to get ready for tonight.
Yes, please.
So in terms of preparation on Saturday morning, right through Saturday, right up to Saturday night, how was that for you?
It was a game full of obstacles, and it really pushed through everything. My mommy helped me, my grand helped me, my auntie helped me. Everybody just was there. Everybody was helping me get ready. And it was really fun to feel the energy of everybody. That's what really pushed me Saturday night.
So we're really glad that all of us came out to support you indeed. And Gabriella, what about you? You stood there on the stage, you heard other people's names being called, and you were thinking, wait, I didn't win anything, right? Were you thinking so?
At first I was thinking so, but in my head I was like, it's not all about the prizes, it's about the energy and the performance that I put. It wasn't all about the trophies to me, really.
Oh, so you just enjoyed competing? You were just having fun? Girl, you are something else. Talk to me a little bit about, now that it's all done and you are a winner, and you look back on Saturday night, what did you think you learned?
I learned teamwork. I learned different things about St. George that I didn't even know before. I also learned that if you work hard enough, you could get where you want to be.
That is beautiful. If you work hard enough, you can get to where you want to be. And so is that part of your focus when you do your studies as well?
Yes, please.
Well done indeed. And so now you've been crowned, your names were called, and you were both the winners, and you looked around and you thought, I saw your reaction. Your hand went straight to your mouth because it was unbelievable, right, Daquan?
Yes, please.
Why was it so unbelievable for you?
It wasn't unbelievable, it was just in shock that it really happened.
That it actually happened. Knowing that you represented Rowans, and hearing the cheers from everybody who came out to support Rowans as well, how did that make you feel while on stage?
It really felt like if everybody just came, because I didn't hear all the noise, but I know people from everywhere was just saying, yeah. They did it.
And they kept beer noise in the hall.
Yeah.
Indeed. And your mentor was Miss Boyce. Tell me a little bit what you were saying to these people here.
From the beginning, I've been telling them, you're going to face some challenges. You're going to feel like you're not good enough. You're going to feel the competitive spirit being with your peers, because a lot of the 4 farmers competed together. So they know each other very well. And I was telling them, at the end of the day, you're going to play nicely, but we're aiming for that crown. And they did it. They've been working tirelessly and tremendously since the beginning. They've been consistent, and they did really well, and I'm very proud of them.
I was just going to ask you about that. You must feel like such a wonderful mummy today, because you've seen your little loved ones grow and mature to the point where they're winners. They're representing themselves so very, very well indeed, not just on that stage on Saturday, but through what they're doing as well. So what is it that you do, you think, that gets beneath the surface of doubt sometimes that happens with a lot of us, so that you can tell them it is possible?
Sometimes they just need to take a breath when they're feeling very overwhelmed. You just take a breath and reflect on where you were at the beginning. Once you reflect on where you were at the beginning, you will always acknowledge how far you have come. And at the beginning, they were very unsure. They weren't sure if they wanted to go through with it. Some of them wanted to, pull back from the competition. But look at how far you came.
Yeah. Look at how far you've come. You've done so well. I know you're winners indeed. And so, Mr. Brown, Lord have mercy. You have had a busy last three weeks literally of the month. But it looks good. It looks good. And it looks good simply because it's right. The things that you're doing there is right. So talk to me a little bit about what this show now anchors for St. George Secondary School.
Well, when the proposal was first, Miss Seeley, Shanice Seeley, brought that proposal, that ingenious proposal, we only saw 18 students. And what those 18 students, how those 18 students can inspire the 650 students at the school. But we never really saw it as having an impact on Barbados itself. And with the collaboration with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, they saw the bigger picture. They saw how this program can impact other schools and other communities. And they were able to embrace it. And by doing so, we are now looking at possibly the St. Michael's School, the home of the Cougars, the spirit of the Cougars, Princess Margaret School, the home of the Jaguars, the spirit of the Jaguars, Lester Vaughan, the spirit of the Eagles, and probably the law school, the spirit of the Griffin. We're still trying to determine what is a Griffin. Yeah. But the challenge is there. The spirit of the Griffin.
Yes.
And when we listen to Jesse and how this program has impacted his life, when he remembers that elderly person who said, "Young boy, do the right thing."
Yes.
And also, he was so, the impression he had to hear an old lady, 103 years old, being able to read, that really impacted his life. And if we can get more schools embracing such a program and going into the communities and embracing the spirit of school and community, maybe we would then begin to see a change in how the youth view the elderly and embrace the elderly. So I have no regrets at all in losing some sleep. I mean, I must share, and personally, I must share with you.
Yes.
Last Tuesday, the deputy principal and I, we were on the road at 3 a.m. in the morning to get to St. George Secondary School for 3:30, to carpool in my vehicle, to go to collect Jazeera in Spoitstown.
Whoa.
And we missed our home a little bit, and I said to my deputy, we look like the police circling the district to do an early raid. Then to leave Spoitstown to collect her partner in Bushar Yargat.
Yes.
Then to move from Bushar Yargat to collect Jaden in Walkers, St. George, to get here for 5:30.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday, I went to St. John. She went to Britain to collect Jessie, then to Bearland to collect to Shauna, then to Welch's to collect Don J to get here for 5:30. So we have no regrets at all, lose a little sleep, because we can see the impact it has had on these children.
We have no regrets at all that we put you through all of that. Because we were excited, we were happy to have them indeed come and to share with us. We are so inspired by the work that you're leading with your charge at St. George Secondary School and the output from these students. All of them, indeed, in the last few weeks. We are so inspired. I just visit, I should go to school there now. Honestly, I do. And it's good because it helps for us to understand what's happening behind those walls. We see the exterior of the school. We hear some stories, but who cares? We now know that good happens within the walls of St. George Secondary School. And that's because of you. That's because of you. You understand where you are. You understand the mission of your school. You adopt the position held by your leadership of the school, and you have shown yourselves exceptional before everybody, the crowd that was there on Saturday. And so now, as we carry the story here on CBC, we've told the whole world about you. What do you do? Would you consider taking part in the Spirit of the Nation show, Barbados Wide, in November?
Yes, please.
You would. What about you, Gabriella?
I feel like I would too.
You feel you would too? All right, well, I wish you well. I know you've told me what your endeavors are future-wise, and I really hope that you are able to achieve all that you set your mind to do. Remember what your mentor said, really, literally, at the end of it, that nothing is impossible. You look back, you see where you've come from, but you push through. You push through, because you have all within you to be successful. Never doubt that. Never doubt that. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Indeed, I wish you all with your future endeavors all the very best indeed. We're going to take a break here. Congratulations to our exceptional young people. But there's an exceptional young man who will join me in just a moment as we continue our journey through what's happening in Barbados. Stay with us. Back in a bit.
That segment of Exceptional Youth was brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund, financing education the easy way. Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
If you're asking yourself, what is that? Let me tell you what it is. It is a look at how the open day started yesterday at St. George Secondary School. Remember, between yesterday and today, they've opened their doors, they've flung it open from 10 in the morning so we can all come and see and engage with what the students are doing. And so we want to continue focusing on the great work coming from that campus known as St. George Secondary School right there in Salter St. George. With me is their principal still, the young man I was telling you about at the break. Yep, he's still here with me. And so, Mr. Principal, I'm sure that there are people who are watching and saying, but what is your formula? What is your formula? Leadership, we know, has to be strong, but to get others engaged as well so that they want to feel a part of your vision. Talk to me a little bit about that process for you.
I would have mentioned during my first interview that I believe in teacher empowerment. And I believe in embracing teacher satisfaction and supporting my teachers. And I can't do it without them. And it's really the staff who have been driving the school forward. I only facilitate by providing whatever needs or resources that are needed for them to do the work. Of course, I would play my role as a disciplinarian when there's need for that. But it's really having a committed staff who is always ready and willing to move the school forward. And we have accepted the system that is in place. It's not a system, I don't want to go down that road because then I may have got to share some of my views that may not make some people happy. It's not a system I'm happy with where, we have those who are selected for the 90s and you put at certain schools and then, the way it is, St. George, then we are allocated students with various challenges. But we have accepted those challenges. We've decided that these are the children of this nation. These are our Barbadian children. And we've decided that, look, they're here with us. This is our job as teachers to teach. This is our job as teachers to provide learning, to ensure that the students are taught well. And we've decided to give our all and to use whatever initiatives are necessary to ensure that the students are productive students in the end of their journey at St. George Secondary.
So it's student-centered. You want to see the best coming from these little ones whose heads have bobbed into your compound every single day, to see that when they are grown, that they're able to function in our society in the way that the society expects them to. But oftentimes, you're quite right, we tend to determine excellence based on the academic alone. But you've looked at a different approach to helping your students. And that's why the open days are on, so we can come see. So talk to me about what is taught there basically, and then when we come to the open days, so we understand what we're engaging with.
Our focus is really to develop our literacy and numeracy skills. That's the focus. And gone are the days where persons would say that if you can't read and write, you do woodwork, you do metal work, you do home economics. Those days are gone. You need to be able to be literate in order to be successful in those skills. So our focus is really to develop those literacy and numeracy skills, and that is what is contributing to the success in the skills. So currently, our students do exceptionally well. They do well in the external examinations as well, because what we were able to do were to fix the root problem, we be able to manage to put programs in place to deal with the literacy, which allows those students then able to read and write and able then to be successful in their skill areas. And very important, we want school to be fun. We want it to be enjoyable. We want students to want to come to our school. So we've provided then these opportunities that are fun, opportunities in the skill areas that would grab their attention, and that would then enable them to learn and want to be there, to engage in in the academic subjects as well.
How was it for you yesterday morning when finally it was time to open the gates and let the people in, and you stood and you watched? How was that for you?
It was amazing. and
So.
it was amazing to see the primary school and the greeting that we provided for them. We had the stilt walkers.
Yes.
They did a little banner thing.
Nice.
Where two of the stilt walkers stood and allowed the little ones to walk through them. They stood tall and allowed them to, and with the tuk band and seeing the adults come through the gates and they're walking around the school, and we also had Minister Sutherland.
Yes.
Yeah, he came by, and it was amazing to hear him say, "This is beautiful. Yeah. This what you're doing at this school to provide the opportunities for the youth. This is amazing." I was pleased to hear those words from him.
That is so good. And we all want to be able to say the same today. So we open at 10. The gates open at 10, so we can, anyone, you don't have to be from St. George. You can come from St. Lucie or anywhere else as well and come through. Just come through and you will see. And so there are exhibits that are, I see some folks doing barbering and the like, because that's part of the skill sets that you're teaching there as well.
That's correct.
Cake icing. So you're getting very crafty because there is a lot of money in trade and skills. And so we want people to understand what the school is doing. So when we come, what are some of the displayed items that we can engage with? Can you recall any of them?
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many. We have the art and crafts, the fashion. We're also going to have a fashion show today. We're also going to have the spirit, the 18 contestants. They're going to model their evening wear for the entire school and for those who be visiting. I'm also going to be getting promised. I don't have anything to do with. I don't have any barbering, but I've promised one of my students that I allow them to give me a little shave, make my mustache look a little neater. So I also will be on stage to get some as a display.
So we want you to come down, folks. I'll take a look at your screen because, you know, cosmetology is a little bit of what they're teaching as well. And so having mentors who come in and help the children, because I'm sure your staff, you don't have all of the staff to be able to do all of this. How do you then provide the children with the instruction so that they see and get a sense of what it is that the world offers that they are possibly able to do?
Well, a lot of it has to do with their interests. A lot of them show their interest in the subjects and the areas, and we do a lot of career guidance. The guidance counselors, we pay special attention on providing that career guidance, and that is what has been inspiring a lot of them to get involved in the various career and making their career choices and so on.
When school is done, the bell has rung 3 o'clock. I'm sure there's some extracurricular activity that happens as well. I saw in one of the videos as I took a peek before we came on live, you know, steel pan. Is there a steel pan band at the school?
That's correct.
What other extracurricular activities occur?
There's so many. Steel pan, we also have the tuk band. We also, we are the hockey champions.
Yes.
We've defeated the Commonwealth School 3 consecutive years. There's hockey, there's volleyball, there's cricket, there's football.
We know athletics.
There's athletics.
Yes.
So we offer so many the students so many opportunities, and that's one of the things that we focus on at the school. Whatever skill, be it academic, be it technical and vocational, or be it sport, and whatever we can identify or you can bring, we can see, just that little thing, we intend to develop it and to make you successful.
I like that. I went to a different school, and because I was the talker in my class, you see what I do now for a living, right?
And they were
careful to identify that very early and provided me the chance to be able to do it. And so you're quite right, to be able to spot in the children of our schools what it is that you see the passion, you can see the purpose as well, and all you're required to do is to guide it, and to shape it into something world class, and that is what you do at St. George Secondary School. So today from 10 o'clock in the morning, folks, we're coming to see world class students who have their eyes set firmly on where they want to be and where they want to go and how to get there. And so we engage you with some of the excellence that comes, really flows from the school, St. George Secondary, from 10 in the morning. It's absolutely free to come through the door. And while you're in there, we want to encourage you to, can we purchase?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
definitely.
just want to have to walk with money or not.
The items on sale, yes.
Items will be on sale. And we really want you to come out in your numbers, to almost crowd the compound with your presence, because your presence there also further inspires those children to do more, to do better. Because while this might be the display of those in the senior classes, perhaps, there are children in the lower classes who will see you and see what's possible. So the older are guiding the younger. And that, I think, is a recipe for a wonderful generation.
And that's why we have invited the primary schools to give them the opportunities so they can see what is there, what are the opportunities that are available to them when they also enter their secondary education.
So now you know, St. George Secondary School, St. George Secondary School. What else is coming up? Anything you want to tease us about? Because I'm so excited, I don't want to hear what else is happening.
Well, we're also going to be a part of the marquee event that is now scheduled for the 28th of June. We will also be doing performances there, along with the other artists that will be performing for the regathering.
Nice, nice, nice. And keep tuned, because I'm sure there's so much more on the calendar for the rest of the school year. I know this school year is finishing very shortly, but you know, more still to come from St. George Secondary, and we want to be a part of it. So don't keep the news to yourself. Tell us about it, all right? Principal Brown?
Definitely.
Thank you, sir.
What I would also want to share, it's very important that Mornin Barbados, CBC, recognize the role that you played in the lives of those 18 young boys and girls. That by having them here, you were able to break the ice. They were able to face Barbados. And then on the night, it showed that confidence. They walked with pride. They walk with their heads up high. And I just want to say, on behalf of the Board of Management and staff of St. George Secondary School, we want to thank Mrs. Tisha Hines, you Pearson. You made those students feel so comfortable. And there's only one pet peeve that I need to share with you. Tashana said you did not ask her what she knew about Market Hill.
She's on board, forgive me, huh?
Oh, Lord. and she said, sir, I can't prepared. I can't prepare to
Bring
tell
her
him.
back. Bring her back.
I can't prepare to tell him about Market Hill, and he didn't ask me.
Come back to Charlotte, let me talk, indeed. I'll give you the opportunity to talk about Market Hill. But thank you so much, sir. Mornin Barbados is proud to have partnered with you on this, really. You are doing phenomenal work there at the school. Me personally, I think my team joins me in this. That's why we have you back. We are so impressed by your leadership and by the response by your faculty and the students of the school. We see the excellence that is beginning to rise from the school. May it always be so for generations to come.
Thank you so very much
as well.
You're very welcome, sir.
Mornin Barbados takes a break here. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential.
There is a saying, you can find a Beijans anywhere. Are you a Beijans living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Beijans Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted? Email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Beijing youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Skold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and
So we're 10 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock as we turn our attention now to some exceptional young people. These are so exceptional. They were recently recognized in the National Youth Awards, and boy, are they good. Joining me now, the recipient of the Calabash Award, Shanika Grimes of Artist Made, and with her is Antonio Medford, the Sandbox Award recipient indeed. And so, to both of you, good morning.
Good morning.
Well
Good
done,
morning.
well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shanika, I'll start with you. Owner of Artist Made, and right away when she came out, I said, did you design your dress? And you said to me,
Everything, all the accessories, the dress, the ring.
wow. What is it that you do?
I'm an artist and I'm a teacher. So anything to do with sharing my skills and the knowledge of my skills. And I paint on a lot of different surfaces, from the jewelry to murals to clothing. Like if it's a surface, I could probably paint it. So I don't limit myself in terms of what type of painter I am.
The way you speak, it sounds as if this has always been who you have been.
Yes, from the jump. There was one little morsel of time where I thought I was going to be a ballerina. But you know, from all the quarreling I got about scribbling up my exercise books in primary school, like the natural natural direction took its course in terms of my talents.
So this is what you do.
This is what I
you do, and
yes.
you teach it at the
yes.
same time
I was
as well.
actually a formal school teacher at Alexandra School for about 7 years.
Yeah,
and I resigned in 2020 to be a full-time entrepreneur, and I have no regrets. It's been a wonderful journey.
But entrepreneurship comes with challenges.
Yes, but life comes with challenges, and if you are prepared for a challenge, you investigate what the entrepreneurial challenges will come with, and like in terms of the award, there are a lot of organizations that you can work with. People, critique the approach of the Barbados government sometimes, but in my experience, I've gotten a lot of support from the NCF, to Fresh Milk, to the BIDC. If you are looking for assistance and you are proactive and working hard, and then now the Ministry of Youth, you will find and attract the spaces required to carry you along the rest of your journey.
In other words, you got to put in some work.
You gotta good things always find you working. A busy person will always attract more work. If you're lazy and your foot is there, like, oh, boy, don't give me a bread, you're never going to get anywhere.
I like your point of view. I love your point of view. Antonio, you say that you're here to inspire, to help people grow and learn, and to make a difference to a lot of people. And you do this on social media.
I do. I have something called Coconut Therapy, and I know it's a random name, but the reason why I started it was basically because I wanted to inspire through just showing a person of vulnerability, just speaking from that space and like walking out walk with God, and combining that to like create a session where you could see someone just where you are at as well, just go through it and speak about it, and you could connect through it,
But sometimes in doing that, you take in a lot of whatever comes back at you. How do you manage that taking in so that you remain you and remain focused?
I think sometimes you have to like take yourself out to the equation. I kind of look at it from a standpoint of, we're all learning life for the first time. We're all walking our road for the first time. And like for me personally, it's like anything that I do, and I know whatever could come from it, could be positive feedback, it could be negative feedback. At the end of the day, is really either going to help gas what I have going on, or it's gonna basically let me learn what I could change. But in terms of like how do I deal with like the negative and stuff, I really look at it from a standpoint of some people criticize what they don't understand, and that's something that you have to understand. I've been in the industry of marketing, and I'm a creative director as well, and I have a lot of tough skin from dealing with dealing with a marketing campaign that didn't do well with the public, and then they're lashing out at it, and it's like, okay, how do I change it up? How do I restructure it? And that kind of like toughened me up a lot. So I also apply that to my personal work, and that has taught me to just go with the flow and let the boat sail. It could be rocky, but just go with the flow.
You're deep. You're really deep. You're really deep indeed. Do you know who nominated you?
No,
Does it matter who nominated you
listen,
at this stage?
I knew of one person, but I didn't know about the others because it surprised me. Because being nominated was an honor, Winning was a different story. Winning was a different story. And like, even as she had mentioned, like, there's so many different organizations that you could pair up and work with, and to get the opportunity to not only be nominated, but also to win, it was something that I think God was behind, because I was in a category with so many different trailblazers. You have David Johnson, you have Joel Manning, Trinity Rose, Amanda Esquimila. You had so many different people who were in there who were great and amazing, and you're just like, how did I, But at the end of the day, I realized that the difference is that you cannot count yourself out, and that you are in the right spaces. So I was so grateful to be nominated, because it let me know that, okay, I'm getting there.
Somebody
people are
sees
seeing
you.
it. Yeah.
Somebody sees you. The recipient of the Sandbox Award. Shanika, did you know that you were nominated?
Yes. This is really a touching story for me, because, I work hard. I just keep my head down. I know sometimes, like he was saying, in terms of sharing, I have my own social media presence, and I can be very honest and very, plain about who I am. And sometimes you feel like the things that you say about yourself, the honest things you say about yourself, will disqualify you. And someone, she messaged me, she said, I'm going to nominate you. And when I gave her the information, she was like, I think you deserve this award. Of course, it wasn't for her to choose, but the person that nominated me, saying that to me, just like I was like in tears. It just didn't even didn't matter if I had won after she said that. So like really bank on being a kind person to somebody else, because sometimes when you're also a presence, people start to feel that you have everything. And sometimes when you are someone who shows up and you win to a certain degree, you have a lot of people behind you not being positive. So sometimes that little bit of kindness is just so inspiring for me to keep going. Like apart from thank you so much for the award, but my person that nominated me is like the most special part of this whole process, honestly.
So you sat there in Frank Cullimore Hall, all of these other nominees up against you, and then it came down to the announcement. Talk to me.
Yeah, I was so lost. Like for half a second, it was like Beyonce. I was like, where is Blue Ivy to tell me to get up? Because I was so surprised. Because I got 2 nominations on the night, and then like the first one was like, okay, well, these people seem really deserving. I was just like clapping and like glad to be a nominee. And then when I heard my name, I was like, wait, where do I put my microphone? Like, I can't rest on my bike.
So here you are, your winner. And it took you by surprise, but it took you just a moment to catch your breath.
Yeah.
And up the stage you walked
That's
to
my
receive.
name.
Yeah. Catch your breath.
Yeah.
And so, same thing for you?
Yeah, it was. I remember I was sitting down and I was sitting next to my friend, and she was we were basically like predicting who would win, and we were spot on with like the winners in the categories.
Yes, until we came to yours.
Yeah, and I was like, she was like, how old are you again? I said, well, I'm 26. She was like, well, you know, man, you got some time. I said, yeah, I do. You know, I ain't even worry. You know, I'm just happy to be here. You know, I like that. I get my envelope. You know. I honestly went there with no expectations. I remember my fiance was telling me, Antonio, something different in the ear, you know. Something is different, you know. Something different. I was creaming, and Antonio just tell myself something different. And I was like, yeah, you know, you could be right, something different. But when they called, I remember it was the first award that the Honorable Minister Charles Griffith was announcing, and I was like, did he just say Antonio? Did it just? I remember I was so confused. I get up and I was like, this guy happening for real? And I remember walked up there and I was like, oh gosh, oh Lord. You know, I had to take a breather. Well done. I even tripped up on the stairs going up trying to carry. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But no one saw though.
You might have the video. We'll go in search of the video now. For sure, indeed. But well done to both of you, indeed. We had to celebrate you today, recipients of National Youth Awards. To know that the nation turned its spotlight on you to say you are excellent, means a lot to you guys. And I know that. I feel that. So very quickly, your social handles, Shanika?
Artist Made Barbados.
Artist Made Barbados. And Antonio?
Antonio Mayford and Coconut Therapy 246.
Coconut Therapy 246 or Antonio Medford.
Yes.
Simple Simon met the pieman. Thank you both. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Keep doing well what you're doing, okay? You're welcome. Morning Barbados, it's a break here. We're back in just a moment.
That segment of Exceptional Youth was brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund, financing education the easy way.
Week after week, Skold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Skold is a window to everything that is there or is yet.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at news now. The Barbados Bar Association has broken its silence on the recent wave of violent crimes across the island. President Kay Williams says the bar is deeply concerned at the recent and alarming rise in violent crime affecting ordinary citizens. She says this wave of violence has shaken the public's sense of safety and instilled fear in those merely trying to go about their daily lives, commuting to work, caring for their families, or conducting business.
We unequivocally condemn those acts of violence and call for urgent, coordinated, and effective action to restore safety in our neighborhoods. We believe every step must be taken to protect the public, uphold the law, and ensure that the perpetrators of these crimes are swiftly brought to justice through due process. No society can function effectively when its people are gripped by fear. So the impact of these crimes, they go beyond the physical harm. It really undermines the rule of law and erodes public confidence in the justice system, and it threatens the very fabric of civil society. The bar stands, of course, with all those working to uphold justice and public safety, and we remain committed to supporting efforts that strengthen the rule of law and ensure a society where all can live without fear.
The mother and daughter charged for $750,000 worth of illegal drugs have been granted bail. Beverly Cassandra Smith, 63, and Ruthly Adoyele Williams, 27, both of 474 No. 6 Crystal Crescent, Kingston Terrace, were not allowed to plead to the drug offences involving 15.35 kilograms of cocaine. They were both granted $80,000 bail. As part of that bail condition, they must report to the Oisins police station every Monday before noon. They were also ordered to surrender their travel documents. They appeared before Magistrate Deidre McKenna in the Oisins court and to reappear on September the 9th. The fishing industry has come into sharp focus as the authorities seek to chart a sustainable future to all stakeholders. In this regard, the first symposium of the Ministry of Environment and the Green and Blue Economy was held at the Hilton Barbados Resort. Chief Fisheries Officer Dr. Shelley Ann Cox called it a turning point for the industry. We get more details from Trevor Thorpe.
The shortcomings of the fishing industry were brought into sharp focus after the passage of Hurricane Beryl last year, and the Chief Fisheries Officer, Dr. Shelley Ann Cox, says the symposium should set the tone for its future development. Among the concerns is that Barbados has only 12 shipwrights, people who build or repair boats. They were pressed to the limit in responding to the needs of fishermen whose vessels were either lost or badly damaged by Hurricane Beryl's battering. Dr. Cox said she would like to see young people becoming attracted to boat building and naval architecture.
This is something very concerning to us, where we have started some training, especially using fiberglass, the GRP, and we hope that we can get more young people interested in boat building and naval architecture. Just those 12 shipwrights have been stretched in trying to fix the boats that were damaged after Beryl, so we can definitely see the deficit in terms of those skilled workers.
She admitted that it would not be an easy fix, as the industry would need human and financial resources to address the problem.
When people talk about having climate resilient boats, that will entail not only the design, but looking towards hybrid or electric engines in the future. And that requires a lot of research and innovation for us to get there. So we are looking at that just transition, but it takes, I would say, a lot of human and financial resources for us to get here. That's why I'm really excited about a panel later where we look at research financing and how we can, go about sustaining some of the ideas and the research questions that have been proposed by persons in our space.
The fisheries chief lamented the fact that many young people were not being attracted to the industry, but efforts are being made to arrest the imbalance.
The SJPI boat building program hasn't been delivered in the last few years because it's undersubscribed, and we have to do a lot more in terms of promoting this field and discipline. We attempted to do a wooden training session and just got 2 applications. So we can see, but this was before Beryl, so now there is, more of a spotlight to the importance of that sector.
Case studies, paper presentations and panel discussions will get the attention of participants as the two-day symposium goes into its final day tomorrow. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Sports now. Defending champions Arthur Smith Wildcats and St. Cyprian's boys booked their tickets to the quarterfinals of this year's Bico Primary Schools football competition. Playing in the round of 16 at Orange Hill yesterday, Arthur Smith defeated Sela Primary, while St. Cyprian's boys comfortably overcame Grantley Prescott Primary. Anmar Goodrich Boys reports.
No margin for error. It's the round of 16 stage at Orange Hill. First match, St. Cyprian's boys in green versus Grantley Prescott. Opening half, St. Cyprian's already leading 1-0, compliments Christian Reid. And they would get a second just before the break. Free kick taken by Sean Aaron. Good and agile. It's on target. Parried away, but only as far as Avery boys. That's 2-0. Second half action, Grantley Prescott on the back foot again. And Eden Seeley wraps up the game with a long-range effort. Keeper couldn't keep it out, and yup, ice-cold celebration from Seeley as St. Cyprian's march into the quarterfinals with a 3-0 win over Grantley Prescott. The following match was a clash between defending champions Arthur Smith and Sela in the bibs. The reigning winners wasted no time in getting on the score sheet. Look at this strike. An absolute beauty from Giovanni Edwards to open up proceedings 1-0. Sela were trying, but Arthur Smith were simply too good. Check out the calmness and composure from Tazaria Holdemore. Slots it home. Arthur Smith up 2-0. Before you can blink, the score was 3-0, and this was the best of the lot. A crack of a strike from Tristan Currow Stephen. Sela down and heading out. Arthur Smith added another, so the score is now 4-0. Well, make that 5. Edwards again, raining goals at this moment. Edwards was the man with the S on his chest, collecting a perfect hat-trick. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Arthur Smith 6, Sela 0. And more Goodrich boys.
CBC Sports. That's our news until now. More news coming up at 12 noon on CBC TV 8. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Skold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Skold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Skold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? then Mornin Barbados will love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Beijans anywhere. Are you a Beijans living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to. This segment of Exceptional Youth is brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund, financing education the easy way.
Hey, this is Jono from Jono's Skate Shop. Very happy today to be doing our first community visit in St. Joseph. Here we have Winnell, and they now have created a new skating group called the School of Skaterholics. It's an amazing thing, and we're glad to be partnering with them.
Happy to have Jono's here in St. Joseph. We have created the School of Skaterholics here at Albon Manor. Upstairs is a roof deck, skating rink, rollerblades, inliners, roller skates, all are welcome. And we're doing it for the country. So we outside, but inside the roof deck. So we noticed here in St. Joseph that there is no big active community spirit where the children are concerned in doing activities. So we decided to have a skate rink here on our own home turf. We actually go out and visit other rinks, because we support. But we find a need for children that need skates and need to come out and interact and socialize.
You got an insight into what Jonathan Austin does. He provides an opportunity for people to be able to enjoy a part of their life that perhaps they dreamt of or saw on TV alone, to just skate to their heart's delight. But he was recently the recipient of the Bamboo Award in the National Youth Awards ceremony held at the Frank Cullimore Hall. Jonathan is with me now. Jonathan, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, person.
We call you Jono for short, right?
Yeah, you call me Jono.
All right.
That's true.
Do you know why you were recognized in the way you were on Saturday?
Well, it was quite a humbling experience to get the award. It was surprising. Last year I didn't win it, but this year when they called me first, I was like, whoa, I got the award. I've been putting in a lot of work into the business and such like. We sell roller skates, skateboards, protective gear and different things like that.
To really give people a good fun time, right?
Yes.
And so there it was now. You've done all of this without even thinking of being recognized. It was just business for you, right?
Yeah, and I didn't think that, 5% of sales also go towards kids with medical issues.
Mm-hmm.
So we donate to a girl that has scoliosis, a boy that has stage 2 liver disease, and a mother that has 2 twin daughters that have cerebral palsy, epilepsy, and a congenital disc. And John Cares too, and it also goes towards skateboarders within the skateboard community, young skateboarders. So I assist them with product and stuff like that, the ones that have a lot of potential. And also I have, given stuff that I haven't necessarily made a,
Yeah.
advertised it or that I gave back or whatever.
So
but
that's the passion that drives you to make a difference in your community, one person at a time.
Yes.
So, but you did it without having thought of being recognized nationally. You were just doing Jono. And so in doing Jono and knowing that he has now been nationally recognized, you feel important, don't you? Do you know who nominated you?
That was somebody from the same division of youth. So he had reached out to me and said that he sees what I'm doing.
Okay.
So I was quite humble by the phone call. I was like, really? Like it really lightened my heart. And, the passion for me, to give back and how I got into the skate shop really came from me suffering from an illness called gastroparesis from the age of...
A lot of us here wonder what is that?
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah, so from the age of 10 years old, I started to throw up. And, yeah, so I woke up one morning and I started to throw up. And it caused me to have to be in and out of the hospital in Barbados. The doctors here did not know what was wrong with me. So I eventually had to go overseas for treatment. And in that time, long story short, they diagnosed me with gastroparesis. So that is the slow empty stomach, the paralysis. So when you eat, and you eat chicken barn and thing, and you feel good and thing, your stomach pushes the food down to your intestines. And so my stomach now is what you would call paralyzed. Paralyzed, gastroparesis, paralyzed stomach. So the food will sit in my stomach and come back up. And this caused me to lose a lot of weight. They had to end up putting a tube in my stomach, which is actually right here in my stomach. I no longer have it, but I had to feed off of that for 18 hours a day for a year. And, in that time, I felt very hopeless. I went back to Barbados with this tube in my stomach. I felt hopeless. I felt lost. But the only thing that would give me joy, because I saw a video of somebody skateboarding on YouTube. I asked my dad for a skateboard. He's not happy about it because we're already in the hospital. Yes. You want bayonet? You want bayonet now? Sure. But he got the skateboard, and that was what gave me hope. I went outside when I fed off of that tube, when I felt sad I couldn't eat and skate. And I felt lost at the time, but I just did that. I got better at it. I then got the tube removed after a year. I went into secondary school. They put a gastric pacemaker in my stomach. So just for the heart, like how the heart has a pacemaker, there's a gastric pacemaker that sends pulses to the stomach.
To work.
Exactly. To help it work and contract and push it down. And that actually works. So I was happy I could eat. I had, I had the pacemaker here, and I continued to skate in my secondary school years. Still feeling lost, still feeling confused. Why did God do this? Why do I have this illness? And, coming to I was doing marketing and management at BCC. I graduated from St. Michael's School, went to do marketing and management at BCC. I went back overseas, and they tested the pacemaker after 5 years to see if I could operate without it. And with the grace of God, I was able to, they turned it off and they tested it, and I was able to, I still have the symptoms and stuff like that, but I was able to eat without any assistance. So I was very grateful now that they took it out, and now I'm doing marketing and management at BCC. And I'm thinking, what do I want to do in my life now?
What do you want to do with your life now?
Well, from there I said, why not start a business? And I was like, what do I like to do? I was passionate about skateboarding. And I knew about it, and I was doing it through secondary school. I got quite good at it, not even from being intentional, but just because it was a coping mechanism for what I was going through. And, I said, just how I asked my dad for a skateboard. My first skateboard, I told him that, I want to start a skate shop. And he, I'm very glad that he nurtured me in a way that, he encouraged me in the things that I like to do. And, from there, he guided me, and I wrote a business plan, and he guided me on how to get funding. And I actually got a loan from the trust fund, shout out the trust fund. And it was a $5,000 loan. And from there, with a year of preparation in getting the logo and getting the website, it was very exciting. I did not thinking that this turned into anything, more so a side hustle. I'm at BCC, So after a year, I got the logo. I knew what I wanted. I wanted bright and vibrant colors to be part of it. I knew I really wanted to give back because of my circumstances and seeing my family go through what they went through, knowing that you can go from a high place and fall. So I know that I want to give back through the skate shop to people that find themselves in the same situation that I did. And everything started to come together slowly. You know, you have a vision that comes slowly. You don't see it clearly, but slowly. So from 17 to 18 years old now, and in 2021 in September, I launched it on Instagram with the logo done, the website done. Not thinking, just the photos of the few skateboards with the $5 loan that I had, few skateboards and protective gear and helmets and the wheels, and not thinking this would turn into nothing. And it shows you the part of social media too, because you know, my parents' generation, they couldn't reach people that quickly with ads and different things like that. But I posted it not thinking of it, run an ad. The next day I woke up and all of a sudden it's like a new opportunity. Wow. People are calling now, they want this, the product, they want the skateboards, they want the protective gear.
It worked.
And I'm like, all of a sudden now, I'm like an 18-year-old shy, conserved, thinking, oh, now I'm feeling like, now I have to develop.
When did the bus come into this story?
So after 2021, I flipped the product. A month I sold out. I kept flipping. After a year, my dad would help me with deliveries. I eventually got a vehicle that I would do deliveries in myself. And I then kept going, and I got my downstairs in my house renovated because my containers were in my bedroom. And then it moved to my living room.
Right.
And then my mother was like, you gotta go. Right?
Not in my house.
So then we just got downstairs renovated in a way that I can have all the stuff there.
Have your little shop, so to speak.
So that I can store the stuff. And then if anybody wants to come by, they come by appointment, because at my house, because you don't want really
strangers
like
in there knocking around,
right?
yes.
And then I do deliveries and stuff like that.
And the bus came about. And so
the bus,
here you are now, at this stage of your life, you're still doing your studies at BCC, or are you finished?
I finished the studies at BCC and now doing full-time into the business.
Indeed. And so for all of that, you've been recognized for your challenges that you saw opportunities through, because oftentimes we give in to those challenges. People tend to do so, but you didn't give in. You said, no, I can still, but I look for that thing, that hook, basically, that brings me joy. And that joy led you to giving back to others as well and creating opportunities for people to enjoy themselves. And so this Bamboo Award, knowing that you have been recognized nationally, you said this is your second time around, but the second time around to be the recipient of the Bamboo Award, it makes you feel absolutely proud. What do you think you now want to do at this point hereafter?
Well, as I said, I'm proud of myself, but I try to stay humble. I know that there's much work to be done.
What else needs to be done by John?
Well, I see my potential, and I see that there's so much more that I can do. I've been going into the schools and such like, and spreading the joy of skating and encouraging these kids that, you know, that to believe in themselves, that, you know, to never give up, to share my story, you know, to give hope to others. And even if it's one child I inspire, you know, that's really all that matters to me. And that's really the message that I really have to say going into schools. I'd like to grow the business to higher heights and achieve everything that I want to achieve in my life. But you know what, you know, for me, in the process of reaching to higher heights, I want to make sure that I keep track of my character and who I become in the process. Because yes, I have the car, yes, I have the bus, but who I became in the process is what really matters to me. The person that I became from that 10, 11-year-old boy that felt lost, depressed, sad, didn't understand why God would do something. Well, why did I have this illness? And now it makes sense. And now I must move forward and do wonderful things. So, and you know, like you said, my character, to keep track of that, to keep my center, God as my center, to keep kind, to keep generous, and to keep hopeful. I'm not always perfect at those things. I'm human, and I'm not always perfect. I'm not always the most hopeful person. I'm not always the most kind. I'm not always the most generous. But I know that once I keep God as my center, no matter how much times I may fall, once I get back up and keep moving forward, I will reach the destination that God has for me, and that is the bigger picture.
Jonathan, you touched my spirit. Well done. Congratulations on your award. Because you are so centered, success is going to flow therefrom. It wouldn't always look like that, but it is what it is. And God, once God's hands is in it, it's going to succeed. Karen Oliver says, Jono's Skate Shop, big congratulations on your deserving award. Such an inspiration to young people. And so continue being the inspiration that you are. And I'm sure others will follow in your light. They will not dim your light. Your light will continue to shine, but others will follow in your light, and I wish you well.
Thank you, Percy.
You're
Thank you
very
for
welcome.
having me. I'm so grateful.
You're very welcome indeed. Jonathan Austin, a recipient of the Bamboo Award in the recently concluded National Youth Awards. Congratulations to him and all of the other recipients as well. Morning Barbados breaks here. We're back in just a moment.
That segment of Exceptional Youth was brought to you with the kind compliments of the Student Revolving Loan Fund, financing education the easy way.
In a country where music sweetens the ear, and every brushstroke, every rhythm, every word tells a story, the region's premier arts festival comes alive in Barbados from August 22nd to August 31st. It's a celebration of us, our stories, our fire, our rhythm. A celebration of who we are through dance, theater, film, song, and soul. Come feel the heartbeat of a region right here in Barbados. Carifesta 15, Barbados, August 22nd to 31st. Caribbean Roots, Global Excellence.
There is a saying, you can find a Beijans anywhere. Are you a Beijans living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Beijing Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Beijing youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Half past 7 in Barbados in the Eastern Caribbean. Now, when you meet our next guest, is Beijans Afar, you'll know right away that she is making a statement. Just by looking at her alone, she's a fashionista. She's also the owner of Queen EO of Ray's Restyle Lounge. Renee Evelyn is her name. Renee, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you? Good morning, Barbados.
I'm doing well. How do you do?
I am doing well, thank you.
You're rocking your earrings that almost give me a hint of the Barbadian colors, you know, the aquamarine.
Always.
Always?
Always.
Always? Why
Everything
do you say
is Barbados for me.
Really,
Everything
why?
is Barbados for me.
Why?
Barbados is just my heart. I mean, there's no other way to explain it. From the time I entered this world until this present day, it's always just been home. It's just my heart.
You could have given that up because you've given it up in the sense that you're living in the United States now, and even there, immersing yourself in their culture, among other cultures as well, you still find a space in your heart or your whole heart to be in Barbados?
Every chance, everything that I can possibly do in life is geared around my culture in Barbados. Every single thing. I can't think of one instance or anything that I could possibly think of here, even in the US, that is not ingrained in Barbados. My business website is Barbadian Colors. My business is named after my son. We do everything Barbados. Barbados is just my life.
And so talk to me about the decision to do what you do. You know, Barbados is your life, but what is it exactly that you do? I see you sitting around some other clothing and other fashion as well. So tell me what you do.
So actually, this was not something that I sought out to do per se. This is something that God placed in my space. Around the pandemic, as you know, with COVID, and even though I have a full-time career, as you know, COVID affected a lot of people around the world financially. You know, people were trying to find additional incomes and things to do. And at that particular time, I came across a situation in my own family where I inherited some property. And I really didn't want anything to stop the property from moving forward and being rebuilt. So I decided at that time I needed an additional income, and here comes COVID. So I came across, there was this big social media phenomenon that actually started by two Trinidadian best friends, where Facebook Lives, there were live selling videos where women and men would pull things out their closets that they had that they no longer wear, things with tags, without tags, and they would come on Facebook and sell them. And because everyone was home, they'd be sitting down watching, they'd bid on these items, they'd buy them, they'd get shipped out, there's a sale. So I started off just like everyone else and started watching myself. And then as things started to progress, I said, you know what? I can do this. I need the income. The house needs to be taken care of. I can do this. What started as something to do has now become my lifestyle. I turned it into an LLC. I now have an official business, a website. I operate out of my home because I can't afford to do a storefront or anything like that. And I don't have the time for that because as well I have a young child. So I operate everything out of my home. And it honestly has now become a part of my life. It is my legacy for my child, whose name is Raymond. So the business is named after him. And it is now a long-standing part of my world. And that is how this all came about.
We all set dreams for ourselves, you know, we have ambitions. This was not your story as you were telling it when you were much younger while you were in Barbados. So what is it that you wanted to be before you found yourself doing what you do now?
I wanted to be a nurse growing up. And as I got older, that got pushed to the side because there's just some things I give medical people all the everything, all the praise in the world. It's just some things I just could not handle as I got older, the sight of the blood, the cuts, all of that stuff. So I said, nah, that's not for me. Then as I became an adult, I actually got into what I am now, which is a social worker. I am a social worker for the state that I live in, the Child Protective Services, Abuse and Neglect. And I've been doing that now for 26 years. And that has, that's also ingrained in me. I have done some collaborative work with the Child Care Board in Barbados. And, you know, as I said, everything is Barbados. So whatever it is I get into here, I try to figure out how I could incorporate Barbados into it. So that is my full-time career, hoping to leave it in a couple years, God willing. And then this is what I would consider my my livelihood, not my livelihood, my livelihood. Because I actually love doing this. You have your good days, just like any other business owner. You have your good days, you have your bad days, you have your ups, you have your downs. You know, some things are slow, some days are slow, sometimes some days are much faster. However, you have to love what you do.
Yes.
I love clothes, I love colors, I love fashion, I love, I have a weakness for glasses and earrings and all of that stuff. So this is something that I actually love to do. So I call it my livelihood.
You look like a Beijans. You sound like a Beijans. And so don't look at me like that. And so therefore, when people engage with you, you've been there now, you said 20 some years. When people engage with you and they hear the accent, that opens up conversation. What kinds of conversations open up, and then what do you say in those conversations?
Well, this is the thing. It doesn't really have to open up conversation, because I don't think that there's anyone that I come across that one of the first things that I tell them, one of the first things I tell them is that I'm Barbadian, that I'm from Barbados. Have you ever been? There's a running joke with some of my cousins home who said to me, if the Barbados Tourism Authority ever come up with an award, we are recommending you for it. I think since my second year of university here, since that year, I think I have traveled with no minimum than 2 of my friends, bringing them to Barbados every single year.
Wow.
Every trip, every crop over. I can count at least a good close to 50, 60 people that their first trip to Barbados was through me.
Wow.
And most of the time it's for crop over, because that is, our big cultural time of the year. And I started that when I was 19. It wasn't something that I intended to do. It's just something that I do. When they hear me talk about it, when they hear me, boast about Barbados, they're like, we want to go with you. We want to go with you. Some multiple times. So I'm like, come on. It don't matter to me. Yes. I love for people to not just hear me talk about it, but see why I talk about it as much as I do. Come and see why I love my home.
Right.
So I bring them, they have a good time, they come back to tell other people, and other people come. So my cousins get confused. Okay, which one was that? What year was that? Which one? What she had on? What he had on? Where he say it was from? Because they're like, well, who was that again?
Yes.
Because it's been so many people. So
you've now been entered into an awards, some kind of competition. Talk to me briefly about what that competition is and how we can help you win it.
So I have been recently nominated. I know I was nominated by one person that I know, and then there's an anonymous person out there that nominated me for the Caribbean. There's an online blog magazine called the Caribbean Posh magazine, and they have this award every year. It's called Caribbean Posh Awards. It's in the Virgin Islands, and that magazine focuses on Caribbean women. So I have been entered into a competition, and the category is Entrepreneur Excellence Award. It is at the end of this month in the Virgin Islands. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go because I have a board meeting in another organization that I need to attend. However, it's just simply by voting. You go to the link, the website, you go to the category that I'm in, you scroll down, you see my picture. Of course, I have blonde hair in the picture, but you see my name and the name of the business, and you just click on the picture, and that is casting your vote. So I'm very, very excited, not just because I've been nominated, but because, again, it represents where I'm from. And I would love to bring this award home for not just myself and my son, but also for Barbados.
Indeed.
So I'm very, very excited about it. I am honored at the nomination, and there's so many categories. There's so many phenomenal women in this at this awards because of the number of categories. There's so many phenomenal women. I'm just honored to be have been considered to be a part of this global, this global Caribbean feature.
We really want Barbadians to really go there to support Renee Evelyn. It's the Caribbean Posh Icon Women's Award, and it's right there on your screen. You look for her name and her picture, the lady with the blonde, and certainly you vote, because we want her to be the Entrepreneur excellence, to win the Entrepreneur Excellence Award at the end of the month. So please go and apply your vote and give Renee the win. Indeed. Renee, we just voted for you, just to let you know. So one more vote from us here at CBC. And we want to encourage you to continue being the Barbadian you are and blazing the trail in the ways that you do, and for outfitting people in the way that they want to see themselves through the business that you run as well. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
Bye-bye, Barbados.
Bye-bye, Renee. We're back in just a moment. Good morning, good morning.
Week after week, Skold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Skold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Skold, a look into the future.
Our world today.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Get beat with Tarbury, get beat with Pauline, get beat with Popsicle Stick, get beat with anything that to wait for it. You know what I mean? Cowards right from that terror, try from the terror, yeah.
I told him to watch the little boy so I can go out and hustle and get money and food. And he told me, take your child with you.
Just trying to get the stops one time and then but I just stop and then it's always car back.
The same thing, the whole thing is weird. I don't know where we get the truck. And it's so where they're found is where that we barely play games with Lifeline. We don't even know. Life goes on. And I'm wondering about picking me or try to be lenient on me. I can be good.
So, the man that off the street then is caught between a rock and a hard place.
You the truth and the reality of being caught between a rock and a hard place, a production of Plan A Productions, but also commissioned by the National Council on Substance Abuse. We want to take a look at that now and why you should really pay attention to this documentary soon to come to a screen near you. Joining me is the manager of the National Council on Substance Abuse, Miss Betty Hunt, and with her is Chantal Eveling, who is the producer of the film, the filmmaker. She's also the leader of Plan A Productions. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. That is a reality you interface with every single day, Miss Hunt.
Every single day.
And so what do you want for people who view this video to be able to get from it?
Well, firstly, it's the humanity behind addiction. When we first conceptualized the video, it really was to recognize International Day Against Drug Abuse, World Drug Day, at the end of June. We sat with Chantal. She really had the vision, and she thought, you know what? We hear from the outside, we hear so much stories of persons who have traveled the road, but have somehow managed to get back on the right track. We hear stories of condemnation, but we never hear the why. We never see the person behind substance abuse. And so we thought together that it would be a great idea if we could somehow capture the actual users in active addiction, because they have a story. You know, it is not just in Beijans parlance, paros. They have a story. And so to me, it was the humanity behind everything else. And Chantal managed to capture that excellently for us.
What do you do now that you have all of this in your hands?
Well, the first thing we want to do is share it with an audience so that they can actually see what it is that we're faced with. You asked an excellent question at the beginning. This is something we see every day. And I don't think that the average person realizes not only the humanity behind the person who is struggling with drug use, but also what it takes out of persons who respond to those persons in active drug use. And it is not only persons like us in the field who are offering help, but family members, workmates, persons in their circle who too are on that same merry-go-round, especially persons who are intimately involved in the care. And so what I would like persons to take away is that there's hope. We cannot save everyone, but there is hope. And so when persons reach out, when they are vulnerable enough to share a story, let's see how we can move past shrugging it off. Oh, he's only saying that today. Oh, wait till next week, you will see her. That is part of the recovery process. That is something that we have to accept. And so one of the things I would like people to understand is that if somebody is vulnerable enough to bring themselves to a point where they say, I need help, it doesn't happen. Rehab does not happen in a straight line. There will be times when they seem to be doing really great and may fall off. That is not the time for condemnation. Just remember that there's a person behind this disease. There's a person behind this disease. There's a story behind this addiction. And let's see how we can pool our resources, whatever resources are available to us at that time, to see how we can get that person back on the track.
Chantal, confronting the reality, seeing the truth for what it is, how did that impact you and the ability to tell that story?
Well, okay, so the first part of the question, confronting the reality, it was, to be honest, in some ways, it was comfortable yet overwhelming, if that makes any sense at all. It was comfortable because I feel like it was my mandate, something that God gave me to do, to go out there and be in these spaces, meet people, get to know them. So that part was strangely comfortable, being in drug holes and around people lighting crack pipes. I managed to be comfortable in it, and I actually met some very lovely people. How it affected me, it was eye-opening, because I don't think I'm super sheltered, but I have had a greater realization for the fact that we're not all living the same reality on this island. We are definitely not. Our everyday does not look the same. And there was actually a point while I was filming and capturing these stories and listening to people talk to me about their lives, their experiences of other people that they've been involved in substance use with, that I will be honest, I said, oh, so everybody in Barbados does crack or cocaine except me. Because that is how it felt. It felt like everywhere in that space, it felt like every little house, somebody was selling crack. It felt like every little corner you could access it. Before doing this, I did not know how easily accessible this drug was. I really did not. So it was very, very eye-opening that this is a big problem that we have, and many of us, we don't face it daily. Many of us, we go about our days and we're very oblivious to it, but it's there, and it's not even that hidden. At one point, because of how obvious it had become now that my eyes were open, I actually thought about naming this documentary In Broad Daylight, because I was like, oh, I thought that this was something that you did at night and hidden in a little corner. And now I'm in this space where it is broad daylight. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and people are sitting outside on a step lighting a crack pipe. And I was like, oh, I thought we hid and did this. We don't hide, you know? I was in spaces where on one tray, somebody is selling this snap, that snap, biscuits, corn curls, mints, and crack, you know? And so it just felt a lot more real and tangible than it had felt for me prior to doing it.
That is an interesting response. I'm telling you, you got me good on the edge of my seat, so to speak. And so, when is it going to be premiered very quickly? Because
The premiere is July 2nd.
Okay, coming
and yes, and right immediately after that, then we'll make it available to general audiences.
Good. I'd like to invite you ladies back. You know, time is really rushing up against us right now.
Yes.
Because I want to go not just beneath the film alone, but the responses to it as well ahead of the premiere.
Yes.
So do promise me. Thank you very
of
much.
course, and thank you for having
You're very
us.
welcome. Betty
Thank
Hunt
you.
and Chantal Evelyn. Remember, the film is called A Rock and a Hard Place, not just in broad daylight, but we're literally between that rock and a hard place. We'll see it for ourselves on July the 2nd, and then we'll engage with the National Council on Substance Abuse of what we can do as a society, because they're not pests, they're people. These are humans. And we'll take a break here. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
7 to the hour now. Nisha Holder is a Senior Business Development Officer with the Barbados Trust Fund Limited, and she joins me now as they continue to go out into the community and to engage with entrepreneurs and provide opportunities for entrepreneurs to grow further. Nisha, good morning.
Good morning.
Good. So I know the last time the Barbados Trust Fund were here, they were talking about next weekend.
Yes.
This big event. Is that what we're talking about today?
Definitely. We are bringing to you, based off the success of our Broad Street Mall last year, the Emerging Entrepreneurs Broad Street Mall, and as promised, we are bringing it into the communities for Beijans to really get a taste of what locals have to offer in the manufacturing sector. Now we're including the services, innovation, and technology too as well.
It's an interface of all of that.
Yes.
At Weymouth.
Definitely.
Next Saturday.
From 10 until 6 p.m. at the Police Sports Club headquarters.
Yeah, I know so far for the year you've been engaging alongside the regathering. You've been going into communities, into spaces, and talking to people one-on-one and encouraging them as well as you go. So it's not, is it just those who are recipients of loans from Barbados Trust Fund?
Definitely not. We've opened the Expo to persons across the island. We currently have over 100 applicants right now. So persons from the public can feel free to come out. The Expo is absolutely free, and we're going to be showcasing a wide range of products that, as I said, are all locally made. We're trying to push by Beijans and to really showcase what the island has to offer.
So there's room for more?
We actually closed the registration last night. So persons who may have missed out, you can definitely look for us across the island throughout the year. We are definitely going to have this showcase again.
So the whole thing is to stay in touch with the Barbados Trust Fund Limited, and you'll know what's coming up indeed. And so next weekend, next Saturday at Weymouth, early o'clock in the morning, we'll spend the entire day there. Yes. We're coming to see the hard work of our entrepreneurs from across the island who have been creating and crafting items that sometimes we don't see because they're not sold in storefronts.
Exactly. And that's something that we really want to definitely showcase. We're going to be having a fashion show from one of our clients, Catherine Rochford, and she's from Skold, Barbados. Catherine has been featured in New York Fashion Week as well. So she really produces a great high quality product, and persons can come out to see that. Also persons producing beauty products as well as condiments, confectionery, persons doing manicures, pedicures, massages. So we have a wide array of things that persons could come out to see, especially our celebrity cook-off that we're going to have with a mystery basket, specially curated from products and produce from our clients too as well.
Fantastic. So it's products and services you'll be engaging with. There's the celebrity cook-off. You want to drop some names?
I'm going to save that one for later. I encourage the public to come out and support. You have to be there to see it live.
This is really going to be fantastic indeed. So, and the thing is, folks, you come here, you purchase it because your purchase gives support. Your purchase gives support. And given what I know and I understand from it is that we're going to be finding some really excellent products at some fantastic prices.
Definitely. We are also going to be doing a giveaway for 20 lucky persons who are now starting up their businesses to get 50% off of their business registration with Kaipo. And a part of the market, we're going to be giving away giveaways on the hour, every hour.
On the hour, every hour, just by being there, you get some giveaways in it. Again, you're starting at what time?
10 to 6.
10 to 6. There's entertainment, there's a fashion show, there's a celebrity cook-off. There are items all around Weymouth playing field. You know, it's a huge field, but we're taking it over next week, Saturday, just for entrepreneurs and manufacturers as well. And I'm sure those who are into manufacturing, perhaps this is an opportunity for you to come and see the potential from the community that you can help to upscale as well. So we want to give that opportunity as well.
Definitely. The support of the Business Hub is also going to be there. We're going to have Trust Fund, Export Barbados, Fund Access, yes, the Cooperatives Department too as well, and other agencies falling under the Ministry of Energy and Business. So persons who are interested or who have an idea to start a business or want to get into manufacturing and so on, you can also come out and access the information from those agencies too as well.
It's really a Saturday not to be missed at Weymouth Playing Field, beginning at 10 in the morning. Prizes every hour on the hour, I got to say it like that. And don't just say it's for the adults alone. There are things for the children to do.
Definitely. We're going to have a kids zone. As I said, we have persons from our portfolio who do condiments and confectionery. So the kids also can come out. It's a full family day to be enjoyed by everyone.
So every good reason for us to be at Weymouth indeed on Saturday, next Saturday, not this one coming, the next Saturday, the 28th. The 28th of June, it is indeed all part of the work of the Barbados Trust Fund Limited indeed. And remember, stay connected to them on social. They will inform you of when that next big opportunity comes. But if you need that help, contact the Barbados Trust Fund Limited indeed. They're open to servicing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome indeed. Nisha Holder is the Senior Business Development Officer. And remember, the Barbados Trust Fund Limited is having that opportunity for entrepreneurs, manufacturers, community-spirited people, and all of us, all of Barbados. Is absolutely free to come together at Weymouth next Saturday, the 28th of the month, for that big expo. It's a really wonderful expo indeed in small business and small business development. And all we need to do is to just show up and engage and to purchase and to buy and to enjoy. And stick around for that celebrity cook-off. Stick around also for every prize every hour on the hour. Stick around if you want to register with Kaipo as well. On the spot, you'll get a 50% discount thanks to Barbados Trust Fund Limited. So much happening indeed on one day for all of us. And so with that said, my little crew joins me in saying to all of you, thank you for joining us today. Remember, Q in the Community today is going to be at the Desmond Haynes Playing Field in Holders. Right there, you know where that is? That's exactly where you're going for Q in the Community today. So we thank you. We wish you a wonderful today. By God's will, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful.